morning. I just had to get on here this morning because somebody sent me an Ohio State apron, and I wanted to wear it for you today. Oh, goodness. So, anyway, I've got a little leftover biscuit dough right here. Yeah, I know y'all have leftover biscuit dough. Anyway, I want to tell you, Ohio, I'm wearing your apron today, but I'm an Alabama girl. I went to school in Alabama. So, anyway, I just thought, well, but I'm going to wear this apron today. At least it's an Alabama color. It's crimson, red. Anyway, I've got some new followers that I've noticed. I've got an app that tells me where my new followers are coming from and who they are and that kind of stuff. And I've noticed that you people in Ohio are sharing my videos. And I appreciate it so much. I'm down here in Alabama all by myself. And I've got me some Alabama followers that follow faithfully. And I'm proud of them. Anyway, football season's coming. We'll be tailgating and doing all this kind of stuff. And so I want you to make you some fried pies and you can tell all those people in Ohio that don't do fried pies, they don't even know what we're talking about. You tell them that you know how to make fried pies and you're going to make them for your tailgate, okay? All you do is take your leftover biscuit dough, put some white lily self-rising flour, is in the biscuit dough. But when you have leftover, then what you add to it is the all-purpose. You want it stiff and hard. So, mine's been in the refrigerator. Get you about a little golf ball size off like that. We're going to make us some fried pies this morning. Like that. Take your rolling pin and roll it out. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle either. Just get it out. And listen, when you're rolling it out, roll it as thin as you can. Don't have an old thick pie. It's supposed to be thin. So roll it out really good, like that. If it sticks to your surface, that means you didn't add enough flour to it, okay? That it's still too sticky. It's more like biscuit dough, so you can't do that. You got to roll it out thin like that. All the people that have been watching, they already know how to do this. As a matter of fact, they send me pictures of their fried pies. Then I have taken apple pie filling right here and chopped it up. But pretty soon I'm going to be making fresh apple pies because the apples are beginning to come in. All right, so you put your pie filling right there, and then you take your finger and put water all around one side of it. If you don't put the water around it, when you put it in your grease, it's going to open up, all your filling's going to come out. This works like a glue. Take this side and pull it over. Take this side and pull it over and then press it down like that. Take your knife and make it, and don't cut too close to the, let me get down where y'all can see me too. Don't get too close to the edge, but cut you a moon shape out of it like that. And just save this dough. You'll need it later. Take your fork, put it in the flour so it won't stick, and do little things like this all around it, okay? And that one is ready to fry. See how pretty it looks? Get it up. Like that. But make sure you do it thin and make sure you work your dough a good while so that it'll be nice and firm, okay? Anyway, here's what happened at me at Alabama, okay? I got my undergraduate at Livingston State, was what it was called back there. It's West Alabama now. But then I taught for a year, and my principal said, Brenda, before you start having babies, you ought to go ahead and get your master's degree. So, the Lord tells us to seek wise counsel from Christian people. Well, let me turn this down. Well, he was giving good advice, and I took it. And so I signed up for school in Alabama, and I went to school there, and I got my master's degree in teaching. And my degree goes through 9th grade, kindergarten through 9th. I don't think they do that anymore. You got to have it different. I don't know how they do it now, but I don't think it's the same. But anyway, so I went and got that. And then after I finished, then later, my first baby was born. So I was so glad that I listened to my principal. His name was Mr. Key. And he's the one that told me to do that. And I did what he told me. And I'm so glad that I did. I got that behind me before all the babies started coming. Because when the babies started coming, I didn't teach anymore until they got in kindergarten. I was a home mama. I stayed home with my babies. And George and I really never did actually talk about that, like me being home. I think it was just kind of understood that I was going to be a mama first and a teacher second. So, and I continued that on even when I was teaching. I did all my grading papers and my whatevers at school. I didn't bring a bunch of stuff home with me. I got what I had to do. They gave you a planning time at school for the teachers, and I used mine. I mean, I used it. I would plan and make my calendar for the month, make my lesson plans for the month, and I surely enjoyed it. I enjoyed those children so much. I did. One time when I was teaching science, I had all these different things in my room, and I taught them how to pick up a crawfish without getting pinched. We had live crawfish in there, and so we worked with that. And then I had a stuffed raccoon in my classroom, in my science room, so we could talk about the characteristics of that. Well, anyway, they were passing around the raccoon, the kids were. Everybody was looking at it, and I had a little girl. Now, we're talking about 4th or 5th grade at that time that was in there. And she was scared to death of that raccoon. She was scared of all the stuff like that I had in the classroom. And so anyway, her mama came to a meeting or whatever, PTA meeting, and she told me that her little girl was so scared of everything. And she said, and I am too. I said, well, that's the reason she is, because you are. I said, don't act afraid. I said, because you're undoing everything I'm trying to teach, is to love nature and enjoy it. And so she said, well, I'm going to try. So by the end of the year, the little girl had learned to love animals and enjoy nature. Another thing that happened in the classroom, y'all are going to love this. We had a garter snake in a terrarium with a top on it and everything. We had him a pool of water and little plants in there. He was just as happy as he could be. But I knew that he was hungry. So I told the kids that day, I said, look, if you don't start feeding this, if you don't start bringing in some live crickets and some stuff for this little garter snake to eat, we're going to let him go because he's got to have something to eat. I said, why don't we go outside and see if we can't find something for him today? So we went out in the playground area, and this was at East 3 Notch School in Andalusia. And so we were walking around looking to stuff, see if we could find a bug or anything for our snake. They were diligently looking. Well, all of a sudden, another garter snake, I guess it was a garter, it looked like it, just started slithering by, and I just caught him as quick as I could. I just caught him and put him in our bucket. I thought, boy, we got us another snake to keep that one company. So anyway, we went back to the classroom, and we quickly put him in our terrarium with the other snake. Well, honey, when we did that, our original snake grabbed the other one and started swallowing him whole, head first. And my kids were so fascinated, they didn't know what to do. And we sat there, and it took a long time for our snake to eat the other one. to swallow the other one, but he did. He swallowed the whole thing. And let me tell you this, those kids never forgot that. That was a once in a lifetime adventure. I mean, there's not many of us who have ever seen that, but my children did, and they were so excited they didn't know what to do. So anyway, we did a lot of stuff in there. We'd pass that old crawfish around and play with him, and we learned how to tell the difference between a male crawfish and a female crawfish, and we just did all kinds of stuff. I mean, I can't believe it. And then one time, I was teaching about simple machines, and so this was with a little class. They're probably first graders, and they weren't strong. They were little people. And in my room, I had a long board plank, and I had something to go under it, which is your fulcrum. And I told the children, I said, how many of you think you can pick me up? Just pick me up. One little boy said he could, so he got behind me and he tried his best to pick old Miss Gant up, but he couldn't. I said, I'm going to show you how you can pick me up with just one hand. And I got on that board and I put the fulcrum where the weight of it was on the other side. And I said, now push down on this board. And I went up in the air. And they were so excited that they could pick me up. And I said, okay, I'm going to let you pick up 2 people. And we put some kids on the other end of the board, and he picked those up. Then somebody picked up somebody with one finger just by pushing it down. It's according to where the fulcrum is. Well, that is a simple machine. It's called a lever. But anyway, so they learned a lot, and they learn a lot by doing. So you parents out there, you need to do things with your children. Get them out in front of that TV and that phone, and y'all go outside and learn and do some stuff, okay? Don't save it for the teachers to do. They're supposed to know a lot of stuff before they ever get to us, like their name, how to spell it, maybe how to write it, maybe some letters, their colors. They should know their colors. You parents are the best teachers. I'm telling you, read to your children. Read every day. And talk about it. Go outside and look and let them have some adventures. It doesn't even cost a dime to do that. All they want is your time anyway. They don't want your money and all that stuff. They may say they do, but they don't. They want your time. That's what they want. That is what they want. So I've made a bunch of these pies. Y'all think y'all got it now? It's just as easy as pie. Making pies are as easy as pie. Like that. We're going to fry them over here in a minute, and I'll let you watch me do that. But this is mainly for the new followers. And I know a lot of you don't have white lily in your state, but a lot of you do. So if you do, get it. If you don't, just get you whatever you can find. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to start frying it. Let me get my grease hot. We'll start frying them. Okay, y'all, I'm going to show you how to test your grease to see if it's hot enough. What you do is you take a little piece of your dough that you had over there. Kind of mash it kind of flat like that. And you're going to drop it in. All right, it went to the bottom, but it came right back up. Do you see that? Look at this. It goes down, but it comes right back up and starts frying. That's a good sign that your grease is hot enough. If it just goes in there and it lands on the bottom and it just kind of sits there, your grease is not hot enough. These are supposed to fry fast, but not too fast. But they're real thin, so it's not going to take long to fry them, okay? All right, so I'm going to put one in and we're going to see. what you want to do is lay it in real gently, like that, and it starts frying. We're gonna put another one in there. Now my pot will hold 3 at a time, but we'll just do 2 so y'all can kind of see. I'm gonna pull you over here, and I'm gonna pull that down like that where you can see. Sometimes they want to crawl up on top of each other, so you may have to take your little slotted spoon and pull it over some. There they are. They're frying. You're gonna fry them on one side, and then you're gonna fry them on the other. Okay. All right, now all you people in Ohio, I'm telling you now, at your tailgate this year, I want you to do you some Brenda Gant fried apple pies, and they're gonna go like hotcakes. And we're gonna put them, we're gonna put a glaze on them and everything, and all you gotta do is make them that morning, and they'll be delicious. Okay. All right, it's about time to turn them over. Just turn it over gently. See there, that side's done. It just doesn't take long. I can tell you this now, you can't make these with strawberry pie filling. I don't know why it is, but when you try to make it with strawberry pie filling, the strawberries actually disappear and there's nothing in it. So, all right, here we go. We're going to take them up now in just a minute. Don't have your grease too far close to the top, because when you put your pie in, it makes the grease rise, and if you have it too close to the top, it'll spill over and cause a fire. So you don't want to do that. All right, this one is done. Drain it real good. We'll put it in a platter on a paper towel. That one's done. I'm cooking this in vegetable oil. You can use peanut oil or vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you want. Okay, we've got 2 done. Now let's put 2 more in there. We may put 3 this time. 1, 2. I think we're going to have room for 3. See how they want to go over toward each other and hug up on each other? I don't know why they do that. Maybe y'all could tell me. I imagine there's a science involved in it. I guess they crawl up on each other because the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. Well, they're birds of a feather, and they're flocking together. Come over here and look down in the pot so you can really see good. Okay? See that? Look how pretty they are. It just doesn't take long to cook. You don't want to cook them too fast, but you want to cook them fast enough that they don't absorb a lot of grease. Y'all see how that's bubbling right there? There's a crack in my pie, and that pie filling is trying to come out right there. That little spot right there, you can tell it. So that's why you got to use the water and press it down real good, okay? Well, I've got flour. Look at that. It's all over me. All right, these are ready. See, it just doesn't take long. The longest part is just rolling them out, and it's not hard at all. And you ladies out there, you'll have a happy husband if you cook him some of these, I can tell you. Men love fried apple pies. They do. All right, I got 4 more to go, and I'm gonna see if I can't get them all in there. I don't know if I can or not. I'm gonna try, so I won't have to do another skillet of them. Put this one right here. All right, that's the last one. All right, I'm gonna put me another paper towel on top of those so that when I put them on it, it'll drain on that paper towel instead of on another pie. All right, and then when I get through with this, I'm going to show y'all how to make the glaze, which I've shown you before. But I've got so many, thousands of new followers, so I've got to teach them what y'all already know. Some of you already know it and you hadn't done it yet. Shame on you. You got a family that would love these. Get in the kitchen and make them some. My goodness. Why aren't you doing it? Get up off the stool of do nothing and do something. That one wants to keep flipping back over. He doesn't like to be cooked on that side. Look at him. Get back over there, fella. All right, these are just about ready. All right, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze when I get this up. Y'all be really careful when you take your grease off the eye. This is a dangerous thing. Turn it off, and then I'm going to pick it up and move it. So you always be really super careful when you're doing that, okay? Super duper careful. Don't slosh it. Don't do anything. Take your time. Okay. Here are our pies. Like that. And now we're going to make our glaze. Okay, here's how you make your glaze. This is a soup mug right here. But you want some powdered sugar in it. So what I keep my powdered sugar in a big container right here. Okay? So I'm just going to get a scoop out. That'd probably be like a half a cup or so. And put it in. I get a little bit more because I got a lot of pies this morning. Okay, now then, turn your water from your faucet on, okay? But only turn it on a small drizzle. Let me move these plants back so I can move y'all back so you can see. All right, you see this? Can you see that little small drizzle I got right there? You can make this with milk. I don't prefer it, but you can. All right, take you a little spoon with a long handle. Now we're going to stick this under that water for a second. And stir it around. I'm telling you, if you leave it under there long, you're gonna have to put more powdered sugar in it, all right? Look at there. See that? It's still a little bit thick. Let me show you. See, that's too thick. You see that? We're going to do it one more time. All right. I think that's right. Let's see. Yep, that's right. So what you do is once your pies cool off just a little bit, they don't have to be totally cold, but you want them to be kind of not so hot like I just took them off. Take your spoon, put it down in there, and drizzle this on each pie. And it will harden up on there. And it'll be good. And so I don't put vanilla or anything in mine. Some people do, and that's fine. And I don't use milk. I just use powdered sugar and water, and you want it about like that. You don't want it too watery, but you want it so that when you drizzle. And what I do is this. I hold mine up like that and drizzle. I don't turn my spoon over. See how I'm keeping it flat? And then I barely turn my spoon over until I get the last of it. You don't do like this, because if you do, too much will get on the pie and it won't work right. So just hold it like that and do. And then when it gets kind of empty, you can do it again. And Ohio, that's all it is to it. Are y'all in Cincinnati, that big city? I couldn't live there. I'd never make it. I'm too bossy. I'd have everybody up there mad at me. But anyway, I don't even know if Alabama plays Ohio, do they? If they do, I'll have to root for Alabama. Roll Tide. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.